Ice 7-Up crew. We're definitely digging into the Miami history. If you want to support, please pick up a badge. That's what helps us continue to tell the story, man. We're going to keep it going. So West Side, we're representing the West. Hi, Aaliyah. You say you got writers up north. I want to ask you because I feel like, and I don't know if the record's been set straight, but 7-Up, in my opinion, and TVC played such a heavy role in the creation of the Hialeah pennant, for example. What really, how did y'all have that vision, and what did y'all do to make that legendary space happen?
Well, what happened was there used to be this kid named Poem that lived in the trailer park in front of the Hialeah pennant.
Poem he was down with Wild Crew, right?
Yeah, but he was he was trying to beat 7-Up at the time. Mm-hmm. So we were taking him in, we were feeling him out, and he told us about the building there. So he took us to that pennant. Well, eventually became that pennant. It was just was a big abandoned warehouse. Mm-hmm. Obviously, anybody that knows me, they know that I'm not a pennant dude. I'll go to pennants, just to see what's going on. But I always like my stuff on the streets, where it would hit you just in your face. Because a pennant is, for me, it's great. It's a great practice place, and it's a great place to paint, and feel safe from, the law. Obviously, you could run into other writers, and it might go differently in there. But the pennants, they serve their purpose, but they're only for writers, because if you're a public citizen, you're not gonna ever wander into a pennant.
Right. And I see, what's up, L saying this is Waterbed City Rooftop. This is part of that panel. You were talking about the WS. That was prior to the 3 strip we saw earlier.
Yeah, the 3 strip was actually in 2 nights, because we went one night and we did the deck and the TA for Deck and Tame, and it was October, and it was Tame's birthday. So we did those, and then like maybe a few weeks later, me and Cass went and did the 7-Up on there. So, and we took over the whole strips out there.
There it is, no doubt, no doubt. So you got West Side. Tell us a little bit about how you were talking earlier about, doing pieces, since no one was really bombing the trains yet, and still Miami's scene hadn't got too busy on the trains, that you started getting your pieces off on the rooftops. Who had the vision behind that to really start, taking over rooftops?
Well, I guess the first piece that I saw off the rooftop was the Radio 2000 by VO5. Mm-hmm. And that was one in the year the Metro Rail opened up. Would that be 84, 85, when the Metro Rail first started running in Miami? And I would go all the way to Santa Clara, and I could see that, and I said, that's like such a good way for other people to see your stuff. Obviously we're not driving cars or legally driving cars at that time. So from there we gathered into doing, let's do our own rooftops. Mm. So we obviously we did the one that's the Vice with the RoboCop, it's a deck with the Bucky O'Hare character, and a Tame with the Bodie character, and a bat next to me. So so we were doing rooftops because we wanted other writers to be able to see our stuff, to see, not like, well, you wouldn't have to go and search or say, am I gonna get lucky and go into a pennant and see if these guys actually did something? Here people, like, for most writers, they'll ride the train a couple times a week at least. So you would obviously see when there's something up on the walls off the rail.
Mm-hmm. And were any of these rooftops legal, or all of them were illegal?
No, in our day, the only legal piece that we did was the One Crazy Way, and another hardware store that CEO invited us to. That I did a Vice or a Fish Police character, and CEO did they did an AIM with the Bodhi character from Spray Can Art and a Fish Police character. That was the first time the Fish Police characters were actually ever thrown up on a wall.
Nice. So
But most of our, like, for me, you know, the thrill was doing it illegally, doing the night action. You know, like, we're youth, we're mischievous, we have all this time in our hands. You know, like me, Deck, and Tame, and Cass are going constantly hanging out. We weren't going to school. You know, Cass was, but the other two, Tame and Deck and me, we were just constantly not. And Seal wasn't either. So we would just all get together and go wreck and paint and plan rooftops.
No doubt. And I mean, this is real deep Miami graffiti history. I want to point out KV pointed out that the Metro actually started running in '83. And yeah, that I think the Radio 2000 piece was what, 85, 86? It was something like that. If someone can drop that and confirm.
I think it was 85.
Oh, 85, okay. So 7-Up has been united with what crews over the years?
Well, we've been okay with, we've done stuff with other crews, but we don't get invited a lot. I don't know if it's, you know, maybe we're too stuck up or we cause too much beef. But we were always cool with DFC, and we were cool with AIM for a while, and I'm sure we painted with we done some stuff with TIA, so we actually some walls with different crews. But I guess DFC was probably the crew that was down with us, because, you know, they felt, I guess, the same as us. You know, more like we're not living in, you know, not to bash Kendall or the South, but people in Kendall, we felt like, oh, they have money, you know, and us in Hialeah, we felt like, oh, we're living in a more deprived area, just like the DFC guys.
That's definitely not bashing. I'm from Kendall, and that's real talk. That's what it was. Kendall definitely had more resources than Hialeah, most definitely. And I think for us, it was great because it was almost like a cultural exchange. I mean, KV interns would come to our hood and work in the studio, and we would go chill with them up there. And I learned a lot about different parts of Miami just because of the graffiti scene. Hanging out with DFC off of Coral Way at Coupe de Ville studio with Marley. I mean, graffiti really helped us network all over the city.
Oh, definitely, definitely. You know, it's, you know, because people, there's a lot of beef that comes with graffiti, but there's also a lot of kinship and getting to know each other and getting to start learning. Hey, just because they're a little bit more privileged than us doesn't mean that they're different than us. You know, we're into the same type of stuff. You know, like we into the culture. You know, and there's talent. This was an illegal piece that we did, me and Kay, right after the 826, going southbound on the right side. There used to be a Kawasaki store there, and me and Kay did that in the 2000s.
I'm sorry, it's hard to get a clear picture on it, but there we go. All right, cool. Also, you were talking about illegal graffiti, which was definitely the foundation of graffiti. What is your personal feeling about, you know, all this legal work that's going on, street art that's going on, and then what is 7-Up's feeling about that?
Well, it's a change with the times. You know, like the truth is that, you know, I feel that the legal people that didn't put in the stripes to do the work in, you know, are taking advantage of the graffiti artists that put all the street time, and they don't get the same accolades or same opportunities to get those jobs that these new people have come around now and do the street art, and they take away from them. And, you know, and I don't hate on them, to be honest, but I think it takes away from, let's say we've been doing this illegally for 10, 20 years, 30 years, and now we have a chance to make a living off of it. But now you have all these legal writers that show up because it's now more popular and more acceptable. So it sucks in that route. It's great because it's more acceptable, but but you see how it becomes more of a way where you get exploited. You know, they exploit the artists, bring up these areas that maybe were not so great to live in or go visit, and now after the artists do a bunch of artwork there, these areas become, you know, places to build high-rise condos and move people out of the area.
Very true, man. I mean, graffiti art and street art has always set the price for the next big neighborhood that's about to blow up. I mean, we see Wynwood now. Somebody pointed out the Grove and then Wynwood. I mean, next is Little River, and they just keep going. And these houses are just quadruple so in price. You know what I mean? It becomes unaffordable for the people that help create that place.
And that isn't fair. You know, gentrification is not fair. You know, it comes with I know it's life, but it's like, you know, there should be areas that get sanctioned for people that need it as well as the rich.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So for those of you that are just tuning in, we got the one and only Vice 7-Up crew in the building. We're just going through some amazing Miami history. I hope y'all are enjoying it. If you could support by picking up a badge, we greatly appreciate it. If you are a policeman, put down your badge because we don't appreciate you killing the youth and killing and beating up graffiti writers. But we're going to keep that story for another time. Yeah. 7-Up crew in the building, 7 urban poets. This legendary rooftop, so much action on this right off the rail. You guys came up on it a few years after some of the earlier pieces that were on here, like the AIM. You guys went over the Sneak, correct?
Yeah, that Sneak and Noka were up there. The little happy faces that look like our background is actually Noka did that, and that's actually the first time that Deck and K. Well, Deck no, but K. That's the actual first piece he comes to do illegally with us, when he actually becomes a member of 7-Up. And that's that used to be one of my favorite 7-Up pieces. And it's a combination of K style with Deck style put in there. And I think was one of the best pieces ever done in that rooftop. That's the chick off the rail downtown.
That piece burns. And did y'all have beef with sneaking them, or their piece was already toyed and you went over it?
Their pieces they weren't real pieces, and they were sort of a little bit dissed, I would say. You know, so we didn't go actually diss them. You know, there was sort of, we went over it, but it was like we're going over something that was sort of not finished, or it didn't feel complete. So we went over them, but no beef came out of that, you know, like not on our end at that time. No, but at that time it's 92, and a lot of people had stopped writing already too. You know, if you see the inscription there, like it says about something about speakers quitting, now real writers their stuff. So like, but yeah, 92 was like a slowdown area for my, and new blood was starting to come in, I would assume, and a lot of old blood was doing like less active stuff.
Word. There it is. So 7-Up over the years, what's the future for your crew? What is the vision for your crew?
Well, the vision for my crew is we're always gonna keep doing stuff, you know, like obviously I'm 52 years old, you know, like night action, I still love to do it, but it's not like when you're younger and have more free time to do it. But we still do our thing when we can, and we paint as much as we can with the time permitted, you know, like and we just vibe off of each other. We try to push each other. We try to get everything going for each other, So I figure 7-Up's gonna keep going until there's no more grass.
Word up. So do you are you raising a new generation of 7-Up crew, or is your crew locked out?
No, we don't. We're not locked out. We try to put in new members. We try to put in Wake. He was the last member we tried to put in, but these young kids today, I think, are into instant gratification. They think it just all happens in a matter of weeks or months, and it takes time and years for stuff to happen. You just don't just do stuff and you don't become great overnight. And yes, there's a lot of tools now compared to before to make it easier for you, like the internet and social media. But it's not like that. You still have to have your own style and still be creative and still have, sense of what you're doing on the wall.
No doubt. And so, how has your philosophy of graffiti grown over the years?
My philosophy is, like before we used to, since now we do a little bit more legal work. When you do more legal work, you could get more in detail and do more creative and do better characters, more background, and make it more look like beautiful for the general public. When you do illegal graffiti and nighttime stuff, you're working at night, you're working fast, you're going off sketches, because before there wasn't no phones or computers. There was computers, but we couldn't afford them. So we would go and we would do stuff at night, and we would be amazed when we would come in the next day and see it, how great it came out, or how different from what we thought we were doing that at night it looked when it came to the daytime.
No doubt, no doubt. And you've had, members in your crew, some have been extremely successful. As a matter of fact, Terms was the first Miami artist ever featured at the Museum of Graffiti. How do you feel like 7-Up has played a foundation in the growth of these artists and their, everybody's kind of metaphor has gone and become a very big spokesperson for the Cuban community with the artwork he's showing. How has 7-Up played a role in that foundation?
Well, we've always been, I guess, rebels and creative, and we always, I guess, inspired each other to do stuff where we could push the boundaries. And now in today's generation, Terms has been able to make a career out of the art. He's very creative, and Metaphor is very looking into the social movement, and he's always trying to push the envelope on equality and the wrong of politics, that go around in this earth, But again, there's other people like Kay. He's so talented and doesn't get the same exposure as these guys. They don't give it to him, or he doesn't, do his part to play the game where he should be considered as great as Jose Parla. And when it comes to writing and can control, I'm sure that people will tell you there's not an equal member to K, but he doesn't get the opportunities as others. But also he has to push himself and play the game a little bit.
Word. And like I've pointed out, I've definitely had this conversation with KB before. Him and Terrence came down to my hood in Kendall one day. We just spent the day hanging out, and we went down to my old elementary school, Gloria Floyd Elementary. KB pulled out a marker and rocked the whole Wild Style piece in 3 or 4 minutes. Perfect, clean, no mistakes on this chair. And I was like, what the hell? This brother, no mistakes, no nothing, perfect 3D, perfect style. And it was just to witness that. I didn't understand that style at first until I started seeing everyone else copy it. And I said, yo, man, these cats 7-Up is really on some next level.
Well, the funny thing is, at the beginning, their style was a little bit too not, they needed a little bit reining in because they were just doing a lot of this wild stuff, and it was a little bit out of control.
Uh-huh.
But then, as time, with older members of 7-Up, they started understanding there has to be a structure to this, not just going as wild as you want.
Mm-hmm.
So they've been able to compose this whole balance of making it, part of the new style that they brought in compared to the old style, and a lot of this is, I would say, Metaphor helped them a lot too because he understood the old ways and he could see, I guess, their new ways of what they were trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
At first, like, I would see them do like outlines and I would be chopping up all their outlines. I would say, got to remove this, got to remove that. This hook here can't go, this arrow here can't go, because I believed that the public eye still had to be able to read somewhat what you're doing on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
So they were able to figure it out, and Terms and K were able to figure that part of it out, and with creative heads like me and Metaphor and other members, we were able to make it where it flowed correctly. And like, this piece is beautiful. It's an outline that was done for me by Terms, changed a little bit by K to put on the wall, and then I said, oh, let's come up with these colors for it and make it these colors, or make it, since it's a busy piece, we could not make it so busy with the fills inside.
So it's definitely a crew effort.
Yeah, 7-Up's always been about a crew effort. There might be some people that are talented at doing a portrait or a character or can control or letters or colors, but it's like it all comes together and unites.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this piece was a crew effort, but before this, on this same wall, there's a 7-Up that all the crew, all of us, not Tame was retired already, but every active member of the crew did it on that wall and touched the piece somehow, and it's my favorite 7-Up piece to this date.
And what's
over here?
Go ahead.
It's this piece. I showed you the photo, but this piece is my favorite 7-Up piece of all time, because every member that was coming in or had a long stay in the crew got to touch that piece, and that was we were so united at that time.
And to me, what's so amazing about this piece is it's reminiscent of your other 7-Up piece with the Fish Police from back in the late '80s with the 3 Fish Police, right?
Well, no, this is Bucky O'Hare, but with toads. These are the battle toads, and this was
okay. Sorry, yeah, you have another piece though, a 7-Up with 3 of those battle toads, correct?
Yeah, the original one on 8th Street
is
7-Up, and then the battle toads and 3 battle toads in the bottom. And that was on 8th Street, and that run over 15 years, 20 years. And it was because Calle Ocho was, when they would do the parade there or the festival, you get to see that piece.
And so that's what I'm talking about by 7-Up having these Miami landmark pieces. Is like the Battletoads piece down there on 8th Street, the Too Tough piece. You know what I'm saying? The Born to Burn piece, which other writers like Sinner came out and paid homage to the 7-Up crew for the Born to Burn. I mean, you don't see a lot of people paying their respect like that.
And we love that. We love that people, the people that know and have seen their history could say, wow, those pieces left an implant in our brain that we want to do it again, or we want to produce those characters for newer generations to see that.
Word. Well, that's so dope. Congratulations on you and your crew making such a lasting impact.
You know, it's a crew effort. It's always been a crew effort in my set of mind. You know, like it's harder as all of us are adults and we all live in different parts of the planet. You know, but we try when we're together and we work as a unit. I will believe not just because it's my crew, but I would say we are probably the top crew to come out of Miami when we work together.
Wow, word. That's dope. And here you go. Here's the Born to Burn. This was by Sinner and then paying homage to
No,
your crew right here.
no, this one is actually an illegal one that we did before
Oh,
before before the before the 7 Up show.
you're right,
That,
right. Yeah.
that you were
I'm so,
kindly that you helped us out with, and you were over there and DJ'd and you brought Hakeem Green. So
okay,
before, and we all worked together you know, at that night it was Dak, Tease, Terms, KV, Morals, and myself.
right.
We were at that wall. Like Metaphor could not make it, even though he wanted wholeheartedly to make it, but he lived in like he was living almost in the Keys at that time, and
Word.
this is closer to the Wynwood area off the expressway.
No, yo, and thank you for the correction. My apologies. That's right. The one the Sinner did have the 2 fingers sticking
Yeah,
up.
he has a hand. He has a
Got it.
hand with 2 fingers.
Right, right.
And
I didn't even remember playing at that place. Spinning over there.
yeah, you were there. You brought in Hakeem Green, and you spun, and you helped us a lot putting that show together.
Give thanks. So big up my brother Hakeem Green, sparking mad ism every day, all day. Also, you know, another thing I'd like to touch on is 7 Up crew. You know, the Happy Campers crew became very active in producing hip hop events, you know, out in South Beach, and I don't know where else, but I definitely was active in their work in South Beach. What can you share with us about the Happy Campers in the
Well,
last few minutes?
I would say that was a lot because Metaphor he moved to the beach, and then Terms and K and Steep, they would all go over there and hang out with him, and he spun at a lot of clubs, and he really pushed that happy camper aspect with them, and they were that was a way for them to do stuff to try to be more legitimate, you know, like doing magazines, doing T-shirts, and you know, unfortunately, after that, Metaphor went on a vacation, and it didn't keep going. But another people saw it and said, oh, they followed foot and made T-shirt companies out of that and kept going from there and took that idea from them. You know, like, but you know, it's a lot of the members in 7 Up have come up with a lot of stuff, and when they all work together, and when we all together and try to do stuff together, you know, you've seen a couple of the pieces. I know a couple of pictures back you had shown the Black Dynamite wall. That was a great wall that we all worked on, and everybody got to show their name on there, even though the people had Vice and Pro for K, and the characters were done with the background by Metaphor and Dak, and some other people put their hands on there, but you know, you got to see Teaser's name on there, Dot's name on there, you know. So it's always 7 Up. The strongest thing I can tell you about them is a crew effort. When when we're not all working together for the same goal, yeah, you might see stuff that is great, but you know, when you see it compared to stuff that is all of us as a unit, you'll say, wow, now we know why those guys are so good.
It's like Voltron coming together.
Oh, basically, I would say. Because not only one person is the know-it-all, be-all, you know? Some people are stronger at different things. Everybody plays their part.
And so in our last minutes, what are the final words you'd like to share with our people? Any shout-outs, any last thoughts?
Well, you know, I think I shouted out my crewmates in the beginning of it. You know, so I hope they got to hear that I called them out, or not called them out, but shouted them out. Still, I wanna reiterate for Tease to stay strong. He's going through some stuff now, but I know he could beat this, and for us to be more productive and united and keep moving forward, and as a world, not just as a crew. You know, my crew is like, but I mean us as a whole in the planet. You know, like, you know, and remember why we started doing this. And yeah, money is the root of our evil and makes the world go round. But you know, sometimes you got to do stuff for fun.
Word up. And we know that graffiti from our childhood is some of the most fun things we could ever do, right?
Oh, definitely, definitely. You know.
No doubt. Well, yo, Mr. Vice, it's been a pleasure. This is that burner you were talking about right here. We got I don't who is this on the top right? I see it's Sinner on the left. Who's on the top right?
There's Sinner on the left, Dism on the right, on the top right.
Okay, Dism.
And then Metaphor on the far left, and the middle is Tease, and the right is Vice piece.
Vice.
With the help of Terms and K with that.
Word. And yo, this has just been live Art Talk Museum of Graffiti with the one and only King Vice, the Godfather 7-Up crew. We really appreciate, love having you. The museum is actually moving in just a few days, so make sure you come check out the new setup we have going on over there. And yo, I appreciate everyone in this room coming and checking and building our scene and helping us get the story straight. None of us know it all. We're all here to learn from each other and build up our scene. So Vice, 7-Up, 7 Urban Poets, you know what it is. Thank you so much, my brother, for joining us and rocking with us.
Thank you, Brim, and thank everybody that joined our chat.
There it is, y'all. One love, be safe. Peace.
Peace.